Hi, everybody. Bryan Broaddus, and welcome to The Stack. It's our weekly look at all things NFL draft. We also got some things with now with the draft being over. I say it's our look at the draft. We can kind of put a bow on this one. I do want to, before I introduce you guys, I do want to say thanks to everybody that was kind of hanging out with us during the draft, whether you were here with Crown Global Media, on 105.3 The Fan, DallasCowboys.com, everything that we were doing. Really do appreciate you. Really do appreciate the love that you guys have shown for the Stack, and our weekly look at all things. We're gonna keep this thing rolling and continue to bring you content. So we're excited about that. Also, too, just while we got you. Likes and subscribes help. I'm learning this about. I'm not a guy that just talks all the time, but yeah, the likes and subscribes really do help us. So if you feel so inclined and you haven't subscribed to Crown Global Media, we would love for you to do that right now and be a part of this. We got a lot of other. We're not going away. We're not going to go after the draft and take a break and all that. We're going to keep rolling, keep pushing on content, show. Please stay with us. While other people are going to sleep, we're not. We're pushing all the way to training camp is what we're going to do. So make sure you check out everything on crownglobalmedia.com for all that. With that being said, Iisha Morrison.
Hello.
Fresh off another successful campaign of working the draft. Zach Wolchuk, my radio partner on 105.3 The Fan. He also was with me during the draft coverage at the Star as well. So, okay, Zach.
Yeah.
Right off the rip.
What do we got?
We didn't have a chance to kind of talk about everything post-draft, and so we're going to put a bow on it. But then I got some questions, some Cowboys questions, too, for you guys.
Okay.
Zach, favorite player drafted, not named Downs.
Okay.
Not for the Cowboys, but just in the entire draft.
Oh, wow. Favorite player in the entire draft.
Favorite player, and you could look, it could be in any round.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of surprise you guys on this one. I didn't want you to have to give it. I wanted to maybe make you have to dig a little bit.
That makes me
Favorite player not named Downs.
Let me get to
that was picked in this draft.
Ooh.
I love Chandler Rivers in the 5th round going to Baltimore.
Sure.
That just feels like such a Baltimore type of move where here's a player.
I thought when they took Surratt, the wide receiver from Indiana, when they took Surratt, and I'm like going, how does a team get a wide receiver that's at pick 115 like this one?
Yeah. I mean, there was a couple. Obviously, if you follow us, I'm not going to take the low-hanging fruit for me, which would be Chris Johnson or Jacob Rodriguez with Miami.
Sure.
But I think getting Rivers in the 5th, who I thought could have been a 2nd-round corner.
Absolutely.
And I guess it's the size, and maybe, he did give up a lot of plays at Duke, but I think he also makes a lot of plays, right? So you see the ball skills. Sometimes you can get in trouble for that. Heck, we lived it with Diggs. And Deron Bland to an extent. Those guys will gamble. They'll reward you with pick sixes, but there's also times where they'll give up plays down the field. So I love, there was a couple picks in the Ravens draft. Zion Young, getting him in the 2nd round, I thought was great value. But Chandler Rivers, to me, just his play temperament, the scrappiness, the chip on his shoulder he's coming in with, now being a day 3 pick in the 5th round. I think he's going to end up being an exceptional player for the Ravens as their nickel slot corner, and they've struggled a lot in the secondary.
Right.
So having him there is that's a fit that I really, really love.
I was surprised. I kind of felt like watching and working the draft that teams like in the 3rd round were taking players. I'm going, why?
Yeah.
Why? Maybe they were some 2nd round players. Why? And listen, no disrespect to Klein from Michigan, the tight end, for him to go in the 2nd round. I was kind of thinking, boy, that's a little rich for me right there, especially with there's some other tight ends.
Tight ends was just so weird.
It was a weird. It was a weird group. It was and I remember one of the first shows we did on the Stack. We went through all those tight ends.
I got a little weird.
And all of them went later.
In that draft, and they all went. Yeah, it was wild how they did that. But I think Baltimore got some really, really good value with some of their picks. Iisha, favorite player taken in this draft, not named Downs.
favorite player taken in this draft, not named downs. As far as fit,
Any way
man,
you want to go there.
I'm gonna
Al.
say Emmanuel McNeil-Warren in the second to the Browns.
Yeah,
Adding him to that secondary,
sure.
they just so disrespectful.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me right now? I mean, I just think he fits so well with, obviously they want their safeties to be rangy. They're going to be, I guess the Dallas Cowboys defense may look kind of similar to what some of the Browns do. They want their guys to be multiple. We all liked McNeil Warren. So for him to go there, I think that their secondary is continuing to get better and they're continuing to do what they need to do on that side of the ball. Secondly, I mean, can I give another one?
Sure, give as many as you want.
Hey, yo, Bud Clark to see the Seahawks seems like it
The
was
second round, right?
Oh, that's a great
Fake.
Second round.
What
Yeah.
I mean, the coaching he's going to receive,
Yeah.
being put into that system. Well, he was one of those safeties that we thought, could do a multitude of things. So I'm like, they just got richer a little bit to me. I think that's a fantastic fit for him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I like what you guys did with those picks. I mean, I just kind of felt like there was. I know when, as working this as we all were, I was looking at these guys and I was trying to. And it was the fifth round, and I was looking at my stack, and I was looking at my board, and I was just left to right on my board the way I have them. I have the wide receivers, the tight ends, the tackles. I put them in that order. But in the fifth round, Jolly from North Carolina State, the tight
Got
end
him
goes
so much higher.
third round, a third round grade on him. Heck, the center from Kansas State.
Watch him start for Carolina.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
That's a guy.
Watch him
Third
start.
round grade gets
Yep.
picked in the fifth.
It was weird.
Emmett Johnson, we talked about him, the running back from Nebraska. Another guy, third round grade, gets picked in the fifth.
I like the Jaden Kennedy pick as well for them. I think that's a perfect fit to replace Trent McDuffie.
God, I don't know how this slipped me, but Adam Randall from Clemson
That was your guy.
Yeah.
to the Ravens.
Yeah.
With all that running they already do.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
They're sickos.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. I look Elliott, the linebacker,
Right.
Arizona State. I had in the third round. We mentioned about Rivers, him and Abney from Arizona
They-
State.
I mean, Malik Muhammad to the Bears in the fifth.
Yeah,
Key Wheatley fell into the fifth.
Is he?
that's
TJ Payne.
that was the last one I was going to say. And
Crazy.
Kilgore was another guy.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, that was a great pick.
Ramsey, Kilgore, Wheatley, Abney. What was that sound I just made?
Sorry.
It was like, but yeah, the Abney, Rivers, Kilgore, Wheatley. I mean, the fifth round, there was some, to me, is to quote our buddy Vaj Lombardi, there was some nonsense going on.
It was some nonsense in the fourth too. I thought
Yeah.
it was some. I felt like after the third, people really. And I think that's like the conversation we've kind of been having is like everybody's best player available is different.
They all are. They all
time.
are.
Yeah. So what you think is BPA? Teams have their mindset on certain guys, and they went and got them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I tell you what's funny about this draft is you wonder how many teams, this is going to sound really terrible, how many teams early in the drafts have coaches involved. And you wonder if you get to day 3 where all of a sudden it turns into, well, we got this grade and this grade and this grade. And the scouts start, and listen, I am not, if you're a coach watching this, I'm not being a coach hater right now. But I wonder influence in room. If there's so much influence in some of these teams where early, we have to have this guy. We have to. And then all of a sudden you get to day 3 and we get rounds 4 and 5. I am fascinated by what happened in the 5th round of this draft. I really am. And I wonder if the scouts, just the general managers and stuff, the way the boards were stacked, maybe that took care of some of the coaches' wishes for players. And then the scouts stepped in and like, well, gosh dang, we got this Rivers on the board here right now.
Day 3, day of the scouts.
We got Ramsey on the board here right now.
Right.
You know, you can watch Ramsey at USC run down Love in the open field.
Yeah.
Gets picked in the 5th round. Okay.
I mean, can I say my opinion?
You can say whatever you want.
Okay. I
Your
mean,
show.
I think it has something to do with, I've heard a couple of scouts and other folks talk about the 6th and 7th round of this class, and how, they've lost guys. Guys aren't, there's not as many guys in these 6th and 7th rounds, or as many options because of NIL, guys going back to school. There seems to be some discrepancy in these later rounds of being less guys. And I thought coming into this draft that because of the weird drop-off that we saw from a lot of players this past year and some of the uncertainty at the top, that it was gonna look fluky with how people were gonna be evaluating players this year. I just feel like the way that the 5th round and all that stuff went, I kind of was thinking it was gonna be wonky because everyone's grades seemed all over the place, even at the top level for the most part. So why would in the mid rounds be just as nuts?
It was almost like a reversal. We're used to day 3, especially in those later rounds, like you're getting some traits picks.
Right.
Like here's a guy that, the height, weight, speed, like, okay, can I get him in here and let's see what we can do?
You feel like that started earlier?
Yeah, I feel like there were some traits.
I did too.
I agree.
And then you have a VJ Payne from K-State who's got really good tape. And we'll talk Michael Trigg, the undrafted free agent from Baylor. I thought could have gone in the 4th round, 3rd round of this draft, playmaking as a tight end that the Cowboys picked up. VJ Payne, him going in the 7th round of the Jets, like there were some guys that were hanging around late. I'm like, what? I mean, the running backs.
Yeah.
Emmett Johnson
insane.
going in the 5th to Kansas City.
And there's no really,
bizarre.
What's the explanation for that? Like there isn't any explanation other than, maybe this year was just weird because I have not seen a board look like, I swear to you guys, in like the third round, I was like, okay, that seems like a trades pick. And I just kept finding myself saying that in that 4th and kind of 5th round, and I was just like, okay, well maybe. So
the film wasn't good as the traits, but they were picking him in the 3rd.
Like Xavier Thomas, your LSU guy.
Yeah,
Going
exactly.
to the Bears in the 3rd.
Yeah,
maybe
that's not a 3rd round pick in my opinion.
But maybe with the NIL thing and us hearing,
sure.
maybe the 6th and 7th round, maybe we're gonna see stuff pushed up. Like maybe we're gonna see people prioritizing that 4th, 5th round.
Yeah.
And like we're seeing guys go earlier, or we're seeing like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just wonder how that's gonna work moving forward, because that sounded like a conversation that was being had across the NFL, is like the lack of. It was a weird, last day in those 6th, 7th. You know what I'm saying?
You're definitely right with the NIL stuff, because a lot of those guys that you would expect to come out and then you're available rounds 5 through 7, they went back to school. Like, I can earn money.
Well,
let me raise my stock.
I'll tell you a one that in Iisha, I like what you're doing here. I'll tell you the one, like, I'm in the 7th round and I have a chance to take Llewellyn from Iowa.
Yeah. What the heck?
That's what I'm saying.
Are we gonna see a drop? Are we gonna see? Is this like some? I mean, we're paying attention to trends. We pay attention to trends.
Yeah.
We should pay attention to this and see if this is something that happens next year, or if this draft was just fluky and weird.
I want to believe. That. Listen, we're just giving our opinions here. We watch the tape. We're trying to. We're starting, like during the draft, you were starting to hear, oh, well, this guy's not going to get picked because of a medical situation. And now you got him in the 3rd round on your board and you feel terrible about it, or he's got a bad character thing. Oh, he's still there in the, we're talking about a guy in the 7th round,
Right. But
guys like Llewellyn, how about Murdoch being Mr. Irrelevant from Buffalo, the linebacker?
Yep.
I had some guys like much higher that ended up in the 7th round. I mean,
Rayshawn Benny from Michigan,
exactly
7th round pick.
No, that's that whole thing, all these guys getting taken, in the 7th round that I had the higher grades. And listen, we'll be either proved right or wrong. We'll either be proved right or wrong on this. When it's all said and done.
I don't really even care about what my grades are. I'm more concerned on what's going on, because if we're looking at and evaluating this talent, and this talent's film says that they should go into like the 3rd round, and then we're seeing them fall to the 7th or 6th, then we need to figure out what the disconnect is and what is the thinking here.
Do you feel more it's about you or the teams?
What do you mean? Oh, as far as like,
but do you self-evaluate and go, man, I had, because see, you were completely on Barham.
Right.
You were completely on Barham. When we that show we did, that was way early in the draft process.
I think we did a good job as a show. With Iisha, with Barham,
Yeah.
I was on Malachi Lawrence.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I feel
exactly.
like if you watch the stack, the Cowboys landed with their second and third picks. Like you made exactly what Will said.
Yeah.
With the comp of like, if I can't get Arvell Reese, all right, I'll go get Jay Sean Barham.
I'm not doing this as a pat ourselves on the back. I'm just saying though, it's self-evaluating. Do you look? Because there was a group that I felt like, God, was I too high on some of these guys?
Yeah.
You know, with teams taking guys. You know, and then Vaj always reminds me, oh, well, teams suck at drafting sometimes. But when I go back and look at this is a good opportunity for me right now to say, wow, we got value. But what about some of the guys like Rieger, Wisconsin, the edge rusher, doesn't get drafted. And I'm like going, well, wait a minute, that's a 5th round grade on my board.
Florian York.
Yeah. So now the evaluation is it me or is it the teams that are missing on these guys?
My mind didn't even go there, but go ahead. What you
I'd
got?
like to lean it's the teams, right? I mean, like I do always you go back and reflect and it's like, okay, I do think some like self-scouting and maybe there was something here that I missed with a player. But I do think oftentimes, I mean, like Iisha, we saw with Ivan Pace Jr., who was a guy we loved a couple of years ago. And he ended up having a great rookie season, but he was a smaller guy. So, yeah, these teams will just overlook some play. Like Llewellyn, I think, is a perfect example of that. He doesn't really fit your eye in terms of like.
He doesn't do anything.
Size-wise.
The workout is not going to be great.
Yeah.
He's not going to blow you away with testing numbers.
Right, but he's just working his ass off. And then you see him in the backfield just making plays.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jack Campbell.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? You bring up Jack Campbell. I like what I thought the Lions got some good value. Jimmy Rolder in the
Yeah.
fourth.
Oh, heck yeah.
Like if they've got to move on, we talked about that on our show yesterday, Brian. If they can't afford Jack Campbell,
Yeah.
Jimmy Rolder might be a guy that can step in from Michigan that we talked about a few weeks back that can end up being a Jack Campbell type of replacement. I think they got a great pick with the edge from Michigan Moore who can play opposite Aiden Hutchinson. I like what they did there. Abney.
They go early on that one? That was at 44. Second round 44.
I had him in the third.
Okay.
Yeah, I did have him in the third. So like it was a little early for me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't crazy. But I think some of this is like, is it scheme fits? Is it things that like we see a player that we just like, and to us it's like just find a way to use him.
Right.
Where schemes are really like that's not going to fit what we want to do, and maybe we just don't have as much of an understanding of the nuances and the concepts and how
they're going to use him.
How they're trying to build the defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to blame it on the teams. But
You be careful. You got a lot of friends. You got a lot of friends in this league.
I'll blame it on y'all. But no, I do think it's just really contingent on this. This was an odd draft. It was an odd draft with the lack of quarterback at the top.
Yeah.
I think it was an odd draft just because the tackle situation. I mean,
Yeah.
and I feel like I just think that this coming into this class and looking at things, we saw talent in this class, but there's been questions about this class this whole time.
There's
been people who felt like there is a lot of defensive talent, and there's been people who are just like, it's okay. Are we comparing it in a vacuum? There's been a lot of questions. I think the league spoke. I think that there was a lot of uncertainty in these areas, and so teams took what they thought was best for them. They don't give a damn what you think is best for you.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's it. I think it's one of those drafts where there is high risk and high reward, uncertainty and certain like that. We're not going to have clean, polished classes every year. Sometimes they are going to be a little rusty and dusty. This wasn't a rusty and dusty class. There just was a lot of this is that. It was nice at the top. In the middle rounds, you have some guys, and people just clearly evaluated it differently. So I just think it's more of a reflection of people, teams being individualistic.
How much of it also could it be, the interviews, which we've stressed the whole time, like we're not privy to that, right?
Yeah.
And like a player like Keontae Scott from Miami, who we all loved and thought like that he can play safety, he could play nickel corner.
Right.
Maybe that's a second round player for us. He ends up going in the fourth to Tampa Bay. And that's great for the Bucs. I mean, they've got Keontae Scott. They got Ruben Bain Jr., who slid to 15 for them. So I like what they're doing there. They also got our guy Ted Hurst, Josiah Trotter. I think Tampa Bay had a sneaky, really good class there.
Getting Ted Hurst ticked me off.
Yeah. And another guy that's like, I thought, could he have been maybe, risen up a little bit, but he goes in the third. Maybe that's where he should have gone. But I do think, like we learned with Scott, when he met with some teams, maybe they're asking him, all right, go ahead and we're throwing some of our verbiage, and this is our defense, give it back to us.
Right.
What are we doing here? What's your assignment in this, personnel grouping, whatever it might be? And he's not really able to process it for some teams as fast as he needs to. Those are other reasons to maybe why some of these guys slid. I mean, you brought it up with Nuss. Nuss didn't. You got word that Nuss didn't interview great,
right?
And maybe that's why he falls to the 7th round in what was not a great quarterback class. But that guy's got NFL talent,
man.
But we even saw it at the top, though. I mean, Rams take Ty Simpson. I mean, people was just doing stuff.
Yeah,
people was just doing stuff. So, I just feel like that it's just one of those classes. But I was going to ask you, Bryan, in your time in being a scout, was there ever a time where, as a collective, you guys looked at a class, as a collective across the NFL, and there was a consensus that you guys came to, regardless of what it was? This is next year, people are saying this is the quarterback class.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah.
I felt like they were talking about this quarterback group this year, too, until it all kind of fell apart.
Yeah, right. So what do you think that the consensus for this class was? Based on what we saw, what do you think the general consensus for this class is going to be?
I hate when, and I'm not,
I know it's futuristic. I'm sorry.
No. I'm going to try and answer your questions. I hate when people say, well, this is not a good draft class.
I hate it.
Because I always feel like it's my responsibility to find the good players.
Mm-hmm.
How can the Ravens, we opened the show, how do the Ravens find all the players? How do they get all the players?
Yeah.
I mean, why is Surratt, who's probably a 2nd or 3rd round player, a lot of boards going in the 4th round? Why is that? Why is he going there? So to me, I think that you have to look at this draft and you have to take advantage of teams that aren't doing a good job at it, that are maybe are reaching a little bit. Listen, Jacksonville had a really strange draft to me. Very strange draft. And I'm not talking about the strange lady draft. I'm talking about the strange draft where it appeared, and they're picking at the bottom of the board, but it was almost like very reminiscent of what the Rams used to do with we don't care, or the New England, we don't care what you think. We don't care. Now, they could be proven right. Jacksonville could be proven right, but there were a lot of guys they took that I had evaluating 220 players. I had a lot of their guys in the 130s, 140s.
Yeah.
I didn't have them where they took some of these guys, and so I'm interested and I'm not saying my way is the best way, but man, Jacksonville sure confused the heck out of me with what they're doing. And maybe that's your point, Iisha, that some of these teams I think had a handle on it, and maybe some of them didn't. Maybe some of them went in there kind of defeated that, this is not a good draft. We can't do this, can't do that. But I don't know. I mean, I know personally, that's why I'm looking at all these guys I had in the 3rd round, and they're all getting taken in the 5th. That's the thing I want to know.
No, it was weird.
I want to know those 8 players that I just mentioned. I want to see how they play, and I want it but if they all are no good, and teams took them in the 5th, okay, I understand it. But I had a lot of those guys in the 3rd round, 2nd round as well. So that's maybe I was over evaluating those guys. But I'm interested to see if I had them right or the league had them right.
Right.
That's where I'm at. Iisha, I want to ask you this question. Best pick for the Dallas Cowboys, not named Downs. You can go anywhere in the draft.
Anywhere in the draft.
Anywhere, any point that they drafted a guy. Give me the best pick you thought for the Dallas Cowboys, not named Downs.
Oh, I'm cheating. I mean, it's going to be Jayshawn Barham. I'm cheating because of the.
You had him right. I mean, you had a vision for the player.
Yeah, I'm cheating because you kind of doubled up and you really needed to.
Yeah.
To get a guy that can rush the passer, came out this past year, showed what he was able to do there. Did it a little bit in Maryland, but not full time. And to have to rush the passer, but also played plenty of time at linebacker, is skilled there. I think him coming in and the usage of him and the way they're going to be able to use him to manipulate and blitz in situations and stuff like that, I'm ecstatic about the fit for Dallas right now. But also, too, coming into this draft, I thought that temperament was going to be important. Play style was going to be very important. And when you look at those 3 first picks, They are very violent.
Yes.
They are super high motor. I also feel like he's a fit because of that portion of it. I think Dallas wants to get faster in their front seven. I think they wanted to get more aggressive and a lot more violent, and I think he adds that. So it sounds like they're going to kind of use him as a Swiss Army knife as well at the linebacker spot and do some things with rushing. But he's my favorite pick because I think he's going to be able to be you're going to be able to play the matchup game with him.
Yeah. You're going to be able to confuse.
Yeah.
You know, what a lot of what Christian Parker wants to do when it comes to disguise and the multiple stuff is, you know, making quarterbacks have to think and hold the ball even a half tick longer, which overall can help you be disruptive as a defense. I love the Barham pick. I thought the value was great. Obviously, Malachi Lawrence was my guy in this. I mean, I thought that was a phenomenal selection. He provides what you're lacking along the edge. But I'll say getting Devin Moore in the fourth round.
I wanted somebody else to say him.
I think everybody watching, if you've watched, you know my feelings on Malachi Lawrence. So without, just to be different, Devin Moore, I think getting him in the fourth, his traits, his skill set, for how big he is, the way he moves is just so fluid. And I think that he is a guy that really can excel both zone, both man. You see him get interceptions in zone coverage. I do like the idea of him maybe even rotating. You're seeing him play some safety looks, right? I think there's so many different ways he can be lined up somewhere pre-snap, and then post-snap he can break off and go somewhere else. You do have to worry about a little bit of the soft tissue injuries with him. Can you keep him healthy? But Devin Moore's going to have to play this year. With the way the Cowboys have had issues in the secondary, I think Devin Moore's going to end up taking a lot of snaps for you, and I'm excited to see how he does. I think in the fourth round, getting that type of high-caliber player that played big-time ball in the SEC, the way that he's able to come up, he can give you some blitzability off the edge. I think that was a nice pick.
Does Dallas traded a fifth for Dee Winters?
Yes.
Does he count as a draft pick?
I'll tell you what, you have a thought on Dee Winters?
Oh, I mean, I'm ecstatic. My thoughts on him is that I was looking for a veteran to come in here.
Yeah.
I love that Dallas again was persistent. They were persistent. They saw this guy, he got their attention when they went and did the Osa trade, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And they stayed on him and they stayed curious about him. But when you go look at his tape, the sideline speed, the way to sniff out the ball, the way that he can really knife through and scrape. Obviously, he was able to step in for Fred Warner and take a lot of snaps last year. The health is pretty good. He's young. I think Dallas really got a guy. And it sounds like San Fran was they did it for the financial reasons and some of the development of their other guys, but they loved Dee Winters. And I think
I got that too.
I think he's exactly what Dallas needs. If they don't, I guess I'll ask you guys, do you think they're going to add to this linebacker room anymore? I don't. I think he's the kibosh.
He's the last piece?
I think he's the kibosh. I personally do.
I think they still will. I think they still.
God, I think they got to go one more year.
I want them to.
I know.
I'm saying I wonder if they feel content with.
You're probably right. I think you're probably onto something though.
And then they also got the gentleman from the 49ers who people said don't sleep on him making the what is his name? Sorry. I saw it. They brought in a gentleman yesterday from the 49ers.
Oh, Johnson.
Linebacker type.
Yeah, they did. They signed. I think it was something Johnson, Curtis Johnson.
Yes, I think so. But yeah, Curtis Robinson, who sounds like people like him, and that we should be looking for him to maybe push for the 53. So I don't know. Who would you? So if you could go get somebody, then you want to go get another guy.
I'm still believing in Jordan Brooks. Is going to end up being here.
I think that you just.
Really?
I just think you just at post draft you just go ahead and Jerry throws that second, third round pick out there and says let's go.
Yeah, I mean, look Jordan Brooks, and maybe they want to keep him there to help him. But you drafted Jacob Rodriguez.
They did a lot.
Kyle Lewis.
Yeah.
I think Miami now, unless you just want to keep him as a bridge veteran, you don't have a need.
It sounds like they were talking about him like staying around, but
really,
we'll see how it goes.
Okay, interesting. Well, another linebacker maybe.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right. Here's some more questions for you then, and this could pertain to undrafted free agents if you've had a chance to watch a couple of those.
Yeah.
If you've had a chance, what rookie will we be talking about the most during training camp?
I know.
What rookie will we be talking? And Iisha, if you're ready to go, run it.
I think it's gonna be Michael Trigg.
Yeah, I mean, Trigg's a
I think
guy
it's going to be Michael Trigg. I had the opportunity to catch up with Londo Wells the other night at an event, and he's
Gave you a scouting report, huh?
he's beaming, very excited about the pick. As people talk about, Michael Trigg, he has. Dog, I think that they said that his catch radius or his reach is like 81 inches.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can see it.
the way in
It's
which he is
crazy.
able to high point the ball, the concentration, the sideline awareness, how fluid he is, all these things. I mean, the guy is definitely different. Dallas has been looking for a guy like this for a long time. A lot of trial and error. Rico gathers, all that stuff, trying to find an athletic tight end to come in. He has so much untapped potential. You can tell by what Dallas paid him that they think he has potential.
Yep.
And talking to Londo Wells,
He's looking forward to coaching him up, huh?
Well, he was there at the pro day.
That is the biggest concern with the Trigg, is the temperament, is the attitude, is the want to, all of those things. I think who better than a Londo Wells to be able to come in? The coach seems like he's up for the task.
Yeah.
Because he feels as though if he can get this kid, if they can get him to really, tap into his potential and do all the tight end things, I mean, like over the middle of the field, red zone, I mean, just an issue.
No, he's a problem.
I think
He's a problem.
I think people are going to see how physically different he looks immediately. And then also, too, as he gets opportunities, I think people are going to be excited about him. It's just going to be keeping an eye on how he is adjusting to the NFL.
Let me ask you this question then.
You so messy. Get that look on his eye.
Who has got one foot in the parking lot then at that position?
Scooney.
Huh? It's Schoonmaker.
Schoonmaker's gone.
Okay.
It's Schoonmaker. I think Schoonmaker would have been on the road again last year if there was somebody that would have stepped up consistently. I mean, from what my understanding, there's been some frustration with his production, lack thereof, and stuff for a while in the building. Dallas continuing to go tight end tells me that they don't think that the same way we talk about Leofold, the same way we need to talk about Schoon.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen with them or if these guys are going to be here. And I think picking up Trigg, paying him and stuff kind of feels.
I mean, look, you thought that you were drafting arguably the best blocking tight end in the draft. He has not been a good blocker.
Yeah.
He has not given you really anything in terms of a receiver. So you've got Ferguson. They love Brevin Spanford. I thought he took a big jump.
Spanford got better.
He did.
Sure did.
But, I mean, Michael Trigg has, like, he'll remind you with the way he can catch the football, just to, like, give listeners, like, okay, what am I looking at here? He does have, like, Antonio Gates-like traits. With the body type, with his ability to high point the football, make catches in the red zone, the basketball background. I'm not saying that's who he's going to be by any means, but just a guy that, like, okay, this is
traits. Yeah, he's got traits. Yeah,
traits. Just type of reminiscent of, like, this is how he could be used. He does need to. He doesn't block. He needs to. And that's also want to. I mean, I had Baylor people because we did the tight end show. I loved Trigg. I think we all really liked what we saw with Trigg. I thought this dude could end up being the best tight end in the class. Immediately, Baylor reaches out and is like, hold on.
Tap the brakes.
Yeah, this guy's like, you have issues with him, personality. It's maturity. It's me instead of team. But if you get him to lock in, and when you have Coach Wells and when you have Dak Prescott and you have that type of leadership on that offensive side of the football, to where it's like, dude, just come in, learn how to be a pro. The talent is there. This guy, the sky's the limit for Michael Trigg, and he is going to make wow plays out there on the practice field in Oxnard. So I agree with you 100%.
It's going to be him.
He gives you what you are lacking at tight end with explosiveness down the field, the seam ball that Dak loves to throw so well. Trigg's that guy.
I think Luna's going to work him, too. I think Luna's going to work the heck out of him on the stuff that you're talking about. But I think also, too, it speaks to body type. I mean, I'm not saying Dallas has gotten smaller at receiver, but, I mean, I think his body type is something you need. You need a big. You don't really have that many guys that I feel like can just go post up and go win like that, too. And I know it's not high percentage, Matt. I know Matt Owen, but still, at the same time, do it sometimes. Zach,
here's another question for you.
All right.
The rookie will be talking about the most during the season.
Ooh.
It's going to be Downs. I mean, Downs is the best player. There's no question outside of Downs.
Let me throw you something out.
Yeah.
Our colleague Vaj Lombardi on one of the Doing All Right podcasts said this. he doesn't want to hear a lot about Downs during the season.
I heard him say that.
Why?
I heard him say that. He kind of was making it. It was weird. It kind of was like sounded like he was talking about an offensive lineman. Like how if an offensive lineman if you don't hear their name and stuff, that's good because they're not getting whooped. He's basically saying like if you're not hearing Caleb's might not hear people throwing to the side. It might just be a whole bunch of commotion, whatever. And they was like, nah, we want to hear.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way.
He's not going to make plays.
Yeah,
you're not going to see him.
You're not going to be talking.
I understood his thinking.
He said it in a way of Voch was almost very much a tap the brakes on Caleb Downs.
What? I didn't get that vibe.
No, this is
That's
me.
the vibe he's getting?
Well, he's saying tap the brakes for like if Cowboy fans think that he's going to go out and cover Smith from Philadelphia in the slot. Or go cover.
Okay.
He's saying in a way of, yeah, cool. Go cover big tight end guy. Go cover back. But he was saying maybe initially you don't see him.
So like week 3 in Brazil when they're playing the Ravens, they got Zay Flowers in the slot. We're not doing Caleb Downs versus Zay Flowers.
I don't want to speak for Voch, but it sounds like that he's saying he has questions about how much will Thompson be covered. I mean, there's guys you have that will be.
Sure.
He's kind of saying like, listen, we're all pumping air into Downs, but he's kind of saying just let's see how it rolls to start out with.
Yeah, how they use him, I think it sounds like.
I think Cowboy fans are thinking it's that guy over your shoulder.
Yeah.
That Darren Woodson.
I think ultimately
he ultimately could be that guy.
That is what he is. Look. I said it with Voch when I was in on Monday for doing all right.
That's true. That's right. You did say that.
I think he's got Hall of Fame potential.
You did.
And it's an unfair thing to put on.
Nice title you put on that kid, by the way.
But he doesn't care, and he believes that.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to the kid.
Yeah.
Listen to him talk.
So is Vachi, is his
it's fair to put out let's see him play. Right? It is. It's unfair to me to put a label on somebody that has not played a down of football.
Yeah.
I take accountability for that.
Right.
I just believe in him so much.
Yeah.
And I don't think that there's any limitations to what he can do on a football field. And if you're not talking about Caleb Downs this year, this defense hasn't gotten better. That's the type of impact.
What if Caleb Downs goes about his job in a very quiet manner where he's making plays and he's tackling in space?
But that's the thing. You're the first round. You're the 11th pick that the Cowboys moved up for. Even if he's doing that, he's going to be talked about.
Yeah.
There's no way as a first round pick. That means that he's still one of the best players on the defense. He can go about his bit. It's kind of what he did at Ohio State last year. He's making plays. He's coming down. He's playing the run. He's a guy that didn't get a ton of interceptions. Did you see a lot make plays on the ball? Hell, I asked him when he was on the show with us. Like, I thought he got bored.
Yeah, you did ask him about that.
When you watch his tape. Because he's so good and he's so smart. Mm-hmm. And it's like sometimes teams don't want to mess with him. It's like, we're not going to, we know we know 2, stay away from 2.
Well, I thought that's what he was saying. I thought that's what Voch was saying is like.
I think Voch was saying in a way of like, he feels like initially, and I hope I'm right about this.
Well,
but the way I understood it was he's like, listen, we have this. Because I asked him about expectations. Yeah. Crystal ball. And his expectations were, 2 years, 3 years, sure. Maybe we're talking about a Darren Woodson type player. But initially,
day one,
he was saying, listen, let's see how it goes.
I wasn't doing all that. But as far
do you think Cowboy fans would be like kind of bummed out if do you, by the way, you think Cowboy fans agree with Voch? Voch thinks the smart Cowboy fans agree with him. Of course and I shouldn't say this, that I think the Cowboy fans, listen, I think that he's saying the people who follow us and watch our programming on a weekly basis would know that what we think about the players. Mm-hmm. Mm. But he's kind of saying that maybe that hey, let's see. Instead of like, Canton, here we come. Yeah, which is kind of what you said.
I'm not putting nobody in the Hall of Fame yet, but I will say I mean, do I know the player or not? Like, I have no doubt that this player is going to be an impact player, is going to set a tone, is going to change the way that your locker room feels, and his film study and what he takes seriously is going to affect the rest of the guys. I don't think he has any limitations, and I think everybody should be extremely. I've never heard, in the time that I've started doing draft, I've never heard coaches speak about a player in this way. And so,
every single scout that came in and talked
for me,
to us.
I've talked to scouts privately.
Yeah. I mean, whether it was Eric Ellingsworth, Ross Winchie, Mitch LaPointe, Brett Maxey.
As you get into, as I'm in scouting school right now, as I'm in the scouting academy, you start realizing that our idea, and I know you know this, Brian, our idea.
Not really. That's why I'm doing radio with you right now.
Our idea of special players is different than what the NFL looks like. Mm-hmm. It is very hard to be considered of that percentage of special to that level that scouts have been talking to. I don't know, like, I think people maybe think that they hear this type of talk all the time. You don't.
No.
You don't. You do not hear a cumulative, collective, this is one of the best players we have seen. So for me, I'm just going to go with the people who get paid to do it for a living more than me. And if they really see that, and I know what I saw, the consistency I saw on film, the guy is going to come in immediately and have an impact. And if you want to talk about how much responsibility he has and all that stuff, he just said it. This is a guy that likes it. He went to go play for Saban. Yeah. He wanted to go there.
Yes.
Yeah.
You wanted to go there, you psycho.
And that's another reason why I don't think, like,
I'm not afraid. I'm not gonna be fearful about this.
It's the jump immediately.
He's gonna be fine.
True freshman.
He's gonna be fine.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
He's gonna be fine.
Best player on their defense.
He's gonna be fine.
Right? You're talking about Ohio State, rookie. Dude's gonna end up being one of the top 2 or 3 players in the Cowboys defense. Because I got respect for Quinnen Williams.
Yeah.
Quinnen's a dog.
Yeah.
But it's probably gonna be Quinnen Williams and Caleb Downs.
Also, too, DC. Like, I know that I think that's a big part of it, is there's a lot to be seen to people from a defensive coordinator standpoint. But one thing we know this guy knows how to do is coach secondary at the very damn least. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just like...
Yeah, he's got his coach on the field now.
I am happy that he at least has a coach. I would be more worried if he didn't have a coach that I didn't think knew how to use him, that was going to take him off the field for stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But
we've been able to do that at like LSU. We did that with Perkins.
But I expect for him, he's not going to be, of course, not obviously totally different scenario, but he's not going to be a Jordan Lewis that it takes years for you to figure out, hey, actually, this guy is important to our defense.
Yeah.
No, guys, like, I don't know. For me, it's too evident. Sometimes guys just have it. And I talked to a scout privately, and they talked about his spirit, his like, I don't know. If you ever been around a big dog, I was in the military. You know who a big dog, who ain't a big dog. Mm-hmm. You know who you can mess with, who you cannot mess with.
Absolutely.
So it's just like, nah, he gonna be all right, y'all. I'm not worried about it.
Spirit of the player.
Yeah. The spirit of the player, the competitive spirit of the player, that is something we talk about in scouting.
Yeah.
Competitive, that is an important part of it. Like, just like we talk about guys who try hard, this guy does all of the stuff that a guy that's not that good should do, and the stuff that a guy that is good should do.
Yeah, there's unspoken impacts that he's going to have.
Yes, what I was talking about the other day.
Even in the organization, not only on the field, but it's off of the field. They have missed this type of guy, this presence on the defense.
Yeah.
You know, we can say, hey, what's Dak Prescott's superpower? Leadership is always. If you ask anybody to a T that's been around Dak, what's one trait that stands out to you about Dak? I've never been around somebody that is as good of a leader of men as Dak Prescott. You haven't had that guy on defense.
Not on defense.
You just drafted him in Caleb Downs, in my opinion. So, yes, do I put too high expectations on him? 100%. Is it out of pocket to say a guy that hasn't played a snap in the NFL could be wearing a gold jacket one day? 100% it is. But I know what I'm saying, and I believe in it. And I think he's going to prove me right on that. And if he doesn't, I'll raise my hand and say I was dead balls wrong.
That's how I feel. This is the guy.
I believe in Caleb Downs.
This guy is going to be the guy that when other coaches go, if Christian Parker goes, if these other coaches go, he's going to be the guy that still is the equalizer of this is what we do here in Dallas, big dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what they be doing everywhere else.
I love it, Iisha.
I don't
this
think
is what he's going to do.
I think that it's not that Vach doesn't love the player, because I think he does.
Oh, yeah, we're not fussing at him.
No, we're not fussing at Vach. I just thought it was interesting that he said, listen, let's see this guy play. Let's see him play. I mean, there's the expectations are here. And not that Voch doesn't think that, but he's also like, let's see this guy line up. Let's see how the coach uses him. But if you think he's going to walk down in the slot and take away your best player initially, there might be some learning.
There could be some lumps there. That
He's a baby.
Yeah.
He's a baby. I mean, it's going to be a learning curve. We just saying that curve going to be like a smaller curve than it. Listen, you ain't having to do no roundabout.
I mean, we could go back and watch Micah in his first game against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And that dude looked like a chicken with his head cut off at some point in that game. Tom Brady, there. I mean, he's running around. He's trying to get out there in coverage. He's missing assignments. Gronk's having a huge game out there. But eventually things start to click for you.
Right.
So I think that's fair. You need that balance.
That buffer.
Botch is giving us that balance.
He's just buffering us.
Which is needed. And I don't think he's wrong to think there could be, a couple of weeks there where he's learning. He did not play slot corner full time. College.
I think that's what Voch is saying.
So,
that's what Voch is saying.
There could be there'll be some learning curves there. But he is so mentally quick with it that I don't think it's for him. That curve is going to be a lot shorter than it would be for even Jordan Lewis, who you brought up as an example, hell of a football player. But this kid's going to pick it up. It'll take a month into the season, and he'll get it figured out.
You know what's crazy too? Hey, you think these veterans don't hear all that talking?
Yeah.
But baby, he's still gonna have to earn it.
Yeah.
Like people, I'm sure those.
Yeah, but don't waste my time. Don't run somebody out there.
No, I'm not talking about.
Don't make him second or third team on because he's a rookie.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the guys. I'm talking about them going at him.
Yeah.
Like you think CD, you think those
Oh
guys,
no,
like,
yeah.
Wait.
They
I want 1v1s.
They have heard.
Yes.
He's so smart. He's so cerebral.
Yeah.
He's gonna get better too because of those receivers he's playing against, and they are gonna test him.
Right.
I think that's what's another battle we should be looking at campus.
No, absolutely.
How do these guys respond to a Caleb Downs when they know how touted he is coming in here?
CD will talk. George will talk. Hey, Ryan Flanoy.
Ferg will talk.
And Flanoy is another guy that holds himself to no doubt. Ferg will.
Ferg will talk. It's going to be.
Those practices are going to be so much fun.
It will be. And we'll be here every step of the way covering them. We want to thank you guys for joining us here on the Stack. Excited to kind of keep things going here. We're going to go down to the once a week. We're going to bring on another show as well for some more content as well. So we're going to keep things rolling around here. We do appreciate everybody. It's kind of following along. Again, I mentioned about earlier the likes, subscribes. That really kind of helps us going along here. We also have our our website too. If you want to go back and look at how Iisha and Zach had their board set. To go back and see if you want to say point of reference. Where do they have this guy? It's all there. These guys don't run away from that. They put their name on their work, and so you deserve that. And go check it out and make sure you do that. Got everything. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on all this stuff. We got videos up. Everything's going on. So make sure you check that out, and we will do that. We put a bow on 2026. Looking forward to 2027, and we'll have some more shows, like I say, talking about other things when it comes to team building, the rosters. We got the OTAs, mini camps, and then we'll head into training camp. But we'll be here, like I say, every step of the way. So thanks to my scouting buddies, and we'll see you guys next time on The Stack.